Hi students, today we are going to discuss about interior of the earth from geography. Okay, so the earth is our homeland. It is one of the dynamic planet also. Okay, so earth's surface has lofty mountains, high plateaus and large plains and deep valleys, and we can see the coastal islands also, we can see all these places. Okay, the earth's surface is constantly undergoing changes. It goes undergoing lots of changes inside also and also the outside. So have you ever wondered what lies in the interior of the earth? Have you made a question like that? So interior of the earth, what are the things are available? So how it will be like that? Anytime you have raised the question? Okay, now we are going to discuss about about that only. Okay, so interior of the earth, the structure of the earth may be compared to an apple. Okay, earth is in a shape of sphere. Okay, from the long distance if we keep the apple and if we see means it's look like a sphere. Okay, so that means it's not a in round shape. See down and upper most upper side also it is in a flat. Okay, so the earth too has shells like that of an apple. So we can cut section through the earth. We will get a view as shown in the figure. Okay. So on the basis of the study of earthquake waves, the spherical earth is found to be three concentric layers. The earth inside of the earth. Okay, that means endogenetic system we are saying. Endogenetic process, interior of the earth. We call it as endogenetic process. So in endogenetic process, what are the layers are available? The crust, the mantle and the core layer is available on the earth. Okay, on the earth in interior of the layers. Okay, so the crust, this is the uppermost layer of the earth. Okay, where we are living. Okay, so our living place is called crust. Okay, the uppermost layer. Its average thickness varies from 5 to 30 kilometers. It is about 35 kilometers on the continental mass. So from the crust layer what we are living, from there to inside we can see means 35 kilometers goes under the earth. Okay, and only 5 kilometer on the ocean floor. Okay, so despite greater, it has the greater thickness in the continental crust. That means continental means landscape. So in landscape crust it has the thickness more and less density it has in the oceanic crust. Because of it made both light and dense rock types. Okay, based on the rock types whatever available on the landmass, continental and also oceanic. The oceanic crust is composed mostly of dense rocks such as basalt. Okay. The crust comprises two distinct parts. The upper part consists of granite rocks and forms the continental. Okay, so the uppermost layer is that means rock. It consists of granite rock, especially granite rocks forms the continental upper part. Okay, continental means landscape. Okay, it has the main mineral constituents. Okay, silica and aluminum is available on it. So it is called as Cl. It has the average density of 2.7 grams centimeter cube. Okay, the lowest part is the continuous zone of denser, that basaltic rocks forming the ocean floor and comprising mainly of the silica and magnesium. So mainly it has the silica and magnesium. Therefore it is called SEMA. Okay. So it has an average density of 3.0 grams centimeter cube. The Cl and the SEMA. Okay, Cl and silica and aluminum. SEMA means silica and magnesium. Both together forms the earth crust. Okay, So the Cl lighter than the Cma. So Cma is thinner one. Cl is the lighter one. So the continental can be said to be floating on the sea of denser Cma. Okay. So here the picture is given over here. See the picture. Okay. From this picture, have to draw and write the layers of the earth. Okay, so crust, uppermost layer is called crust, and upper mantle, next mantle, outer core and inner core. This one you have to draw and send it to me. This is the homework for you. Okay, so without fail everyone should do the homework. The next layer, beneath the crust is called the mantle. It is separate from the crust by boundary called monorovesic discontinuity. Okay, that means it is separate one. It comes under the crust layer. Okay, the mantle is about 2,900 kilometers thick. Okay, it is divided into two parts. Okay, crust has the only one part, that is called the crust. Okay, but the mantle has divided into two parts. The upper mantle with the density of upper mantle and lower mantle. Okay, that means upper mantle and mantle, we call it as mantle. So the upper mantle with the density of 3.4 to 4.4 grams cubic meter cube. So extend down to 700 kilometers. So it goes extend down to 700 kilometers. If we see means the crust is on crust we have seen. Okay, it goes under the soil 300 kilometer, 5 to 35 kilometers only it goes, but mantle is not like that. It goes under the earth 700 kilometers. Okay, so next above, under the lower mantle having a density of 4.4 to 5.5 gram centimeter cubic. So it extended from 700 to 2,900 kilometers. Okay, and the core, the innermost layer of the earth, we call it as a core. Okay, it is the very innermost layer. Okay, so this is divided into two, outer core and inner core. So crust, next layer is upper mantle, then mantle, after that inner core, outer core, then inner core. So the core is the innermost layer. Okay, so it is also known as the barysphere. It has another name also. The inner core we calling as a barysphere. It is separated from the mantle by boundary called Weichert-Gutenberg discontinuity. Okay, that boundary name is, it's separate from the mantle by boundary. That boundary name is called Weichert-Gutenberg discontinuity. The core is also divided into two parts. How the mantle is divided as upper mantle and lower mantle, like that the core also divided into two, upper core and inner core. Otherwise we call it as outer core or inner core. So outer core, which is rich in iron and it is in a liquid state. Okay, it will be in a liquid state. So it extends between 2,900 to 5,150 kilometers. So inner core consists of nickel and ferrous. So it is called as knife. So the inner core has nickel and ferrous, that we call it as knife. Okay, it is a solid one. The center core has very high temperature and pressure also, because rock is a good conductor of the hotness. Okay, so when the sun comes, it conducts the heatness from the sun. So it becomes high temperature and it gives the lots of pressure also. It extends from 5,150 kilometers to 6,370 kilometers. So the average density of core is 13.0 gram square centimeter cubic. Okay, so next, so now we have know about the crust, mantle and core. Okay, so we have studied about crust and also we have studied about the crust, upper mantle and mantle, inner core, outer core, then inner core also we have studied. Okay, so we know about. So next we are going to study about the earth movement. The lithosphere is broken into a number of plates. Okay, that is we call it as lithosphere plates. Each plate, oceanic or continental, moves independently over the astronosphere. So each plates are moving, okay, because of the tectonic movement. Tectonic movement means the earth rotates itself and surrounds or rotating itself and around the sun also. Okay, so that is called tectonic movement. So because of this tectonic movement, the plates are moving one place to another place, okay, independently. So it is called as astronosphere. The movement of the earth lithospheric plate is termed as tectonic movement. This is only we calling it as tectonic movement. So the energy required to move these plates is produced by the internal heat of the earth. These plates moves in different direction at different speed, okay, based on the gravity. Okay, not only gravity, based on that density, it moves on different ways. Okay, not only ways, moves these plates in produce internal heat of the earth. This plates moves different direction, different speed. Okay, so this is the layer we call it as. From the picture you can know easily. So see the astronosphere. This is called as, this plate is called as astronosphere. So upper that one is, we call it as lithosphere. Okay, that lithosphere, continental crust also there, oceanic crust also there. Okay, so at the place, these plates move away from each other, creating wide rifts on the earth's surface. Rifts means it can create the a mountain should be in a height. Okay, so we call it as rifts. At some places the plates comes closer and collide. So some places this plates joining together and merges. Okay, so that we call it as collide. When an oceanic plate collides with the continental plate, the denser oceanic plate is forced below the continental plate. As a result of the pressure from the above, the rocks heat from the result of the above, the rocks heat up and melt. Okay, because of the pressure, the rocks are getting heat and also it is getting into the melt condition. So the molten rocks rise again, forming volcanic mountains along the continental edge. Continental edge means the land area. Okay, alternative, a trench may be formed between two plates. The trench means the two plates are joining place. Okay, that we call it as trench. Okay, in some cases, when two continental plates converge, neither place can be forced under the other. Okay, so the continental plates also joined, merged together on some places, not only oceanic plate and continental plate, the both also merges together. Okay, that means landscape plates also merges together. Okay, so because of this one, the fold mountains may be created. Okay, so mountain ranges like the Himalayas have been formed in this way. So because of this way only, the fold mountains, when the two landscapes, okay, that means whatever available in the land place, that is merges in the in a landscape itself, we call it as fold mountain. So the fold mountain is formed like this way. Okay, the movements of these plates cause changes on the surface of the earth. So the earth movements are divided on the basis of the forces which cause them. Okay, so the forces which act in the interior of the earth is called endogenetic process. Interior of the earth, what is the process? That means the rocks are getting melted and it forms a liquid. Okay, so the liquids and all joining together in a magma. This kind of action is going on under the earth. So we call it as this action is, we call it as the endogenetic force. And the forces that work on the surface of the earth are called exogenetic force. So the upper layer of the crust, whatever the force is acting on it, we call it as the exogenetic process. Okay, so for example, river, winds, and also lakes, this and brings the rock particles and deposit on the another place. They shifting one place to another place the soil. So this kind of action we call it as a exogenic forces. Okay, so we call it as a exogenetic process also. So endogenic forces sometimes produce sudden movement. Okay, such other times produce slow movement. Sometimes it produces the sudden movement also, and sometimes it produces a slow movement. So sudden movements like earthquake and volcanoes cause mass destruction over the surface of the earth. Okay, this and all happens because of the interior endogeneity process. So interior process, because of interior process only we are facing this kind of earthquakes. Okay, and sudden movements. Okay, in the surface of the earth. Okay, and tomorrow class we will see the about the earthquake. Okay, and the causes of earthquake and all, we will see it on tomorrow's class. Okay, so you study and do the homework. Okay, without fail you do the homework. Okay, thank you girls.